Yes, folks, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to KGX to the Z TV. International break settings. Not too much to talk about. Rumor mill. Yeah, we don't want to hear that. Garbage sources, India Kalia, linking us to Rodrigo. We know we're never in the market for Rodrigo and so forth. But yeah, man, this is a video that I've been meaning to get out for a while and to sort of do for a while. A little bit of a different type of video, not too much, no football analysis. This is just straight up taking a look at the 2025-26 EPL kits, first, home, away, third kits, and just ranking them. No bias, no prejudice aside, just straight up aesthetics, right? Think of this as those folks that liked to play PES back in the day with option files, and you would, you know, pick clubs, and you would, you or even FIFA career mode, you'd be like, all right, I'm going to use this particular club because I like the look of their crest. I like the look of their kits this year. I like their badge and so forth. Just so this is just straight up putting on a tier list how we feel about these kits. No bias. But before we get into it, make sure you hit that like, make sure you hit that subscribe, turn those notifications on, and most and importantly as well, let me know in the comments. Let me know. I know I'm a Chelsea content creator, if you want to call me that. But yeah, let me know. Let me know if there's folks out there that watch the channel, which I always appreciate, especially if they're rival fans or fans of other clubs. Um, let me know what you all think of these rankings. Let me know what you think of your club's kits for this year, 2025-26. Look, we're in a day and age where every year we get new kits, right? I grew up on I'm old school, emphasis on the old, where you'd have a kit for 3 years, right? Or you think back of Chelsea, our most famous errors, right? Or not most famous, but when we kind of burst onto the world scene, Fly Emirates, Samsung, we had the same kit with Fly Emirates for I think 2-3 years running. I think 2003-ish to 2005, six maybe. I could be wrong. Don't kill me over it. But nowadays, because of the commercial and the marketing success, and look, shirt sales are a huge thing. We get new kits every year, so why not rate these kits? And look, the way it's set up here on the tier list is everything is done in alphabetical order. So that means we will start with Arsenal, right? AFC Bournemouth is not number one, but let's get into it with no bias and no prejudice. So first up, we've got the home Arsenal kit, right? So we know what the home Arsenal kit's always going to be comprised of. They're Adidas now, so no more Puma. Bias aside, they look, when I associate Arsenal with a kit sponsor or a kit manufacturer, I think of Nike. I think of the O2 days. I think of Thierry Henry. I think of Bergkamp, Pires, Vieira, Bloomberg, even Tony Adams and those guys dating back to them. But they've gone through some changes. They're with Adidas. One thing I do hate about Arsenal Football Club is that they always have some sort of collaboration with Jamaica, which it hurts my soul. I wish Chelsea would have that same sort of affiliation. Maybe one day Jamaica can come back to the or come to Nike. But biased aside, taking a look at this home kit, I personally don't think it's one of the better Arsenal home kits. I don't think it's bad by any means, but I think that it is a very safe and very basic home kit. And if we're being completely honest, which we always are, we'll get into their away kit and their third kit. I think this is the weakest out of all of their kits. So I'm going to put this into the C category. It's not terrible. The Emirates logo, fly better, kind of expected. The badge, the Adidas logo, visit Rwanda on the sleeve, not the worst, but very just very very average. If I was an Arsenal fan and I just like I am, I'm a Chelsea fan and I make sure to get at least one kit every year, and I've been doing that since 2002 ish. Um, if I wasn't due for getting a home kit, which every once in a while I am due because I tend to like the aways or tend to like the third kits because they're a little bit funkier, which we'll get into with Chelsea. But I wouldn't. I think I would pass on this one. Now, however, their away kit, I like the look of this away kit. I wish I could zoom in on it a little bit more to give you guys a little bit better look. I've seen this one up in person in the Adidas stores before. Um, I'll be honest with you, the Arsenal logo that I like better is the crest without the outline on the Arsenal badge. Just the cannon. I like the blue color for them, even though blue is not a traditional color that you associate with Arsenal football. But I like the blue. It pops a little bit. There was a couple of years where Man United and every once in a while, and maybe even this year, they'll have a blue kit as their either their away kit or their third kit. And I generally tend to like it because it's so different. So look, with that being said, I'm going to put this one to show that I'm not a full Arsenal hater. I'm going to put this one in the B category. I'm also going to put this third one in the B category. I like the look of this one. I got a buddy that's a huge Arsenal fan. I've seen this one up close and personal. Look, it's to me it's very classic. The white with the white stripes on the sideline on the shoulders. The again the cannon badge as opposed to the full on crest. I think this is a very very just clean looking shirt. Something that you could probably even get away with here in the States on casual Friday in the workplace. But that's how we shape up with Arsenal. Two B's and a C. Not too bad. Not too bad. But let's move on. And the next one up is Bournemouth. And look, I'll be honest with you. When I see these Bournemouth kits, the sponsor, the logo, and especially with their home kit, I know that it's their tradition, but when I see that red with black stripes, I automatically think AC Milan. And they're not AC Milan. And I'll be honest with you, their kits aren't very creative year on year. I'm not sure who their logo exactly or who their kit manufacturer exactly is, but I'm putting this one in the D. And look, I'm not even going to beat around the bush. Their away kit is just as bad, and I'm going to throw that right in there as well in the D category because it just it doesn't do it for me. Neither one of those are does it for me. I do like um I do like this one a little bit better, the home kit, because I like the black stripes with the black sleeves. This one right here looks like they're wearing two black suspenders. BJ88, look, the less it said is the better. But Bournemouth have done fairly well so far, but their kits ain't it. And this third kit, look, I'm not opposed to pink. I think Everton had a pink kit one year, but I'm putting that right in the D category because it's not terrible, but it also looks very very plain, just straight up pink, no designs, no sashes, no stripes, nothing unique about it. Just a pink shirt, a little bit of black on it with a logo with their crest, a logo, the kit manufacturer logo, as well as the BJ88 sponsor. D status for me. Brentford up next, and look, I like the Hollywood. I like their Hollywood logo in terms of their kit sponsor. Um, but I think this one is just has a lot going on in it. Look, there's stripes on there. There's this weird thing up here at the collar. The logos, when you've got a logo, I think it always looks better when you've got stripes, just like this Brentford logo right here. It's within the logo. This one's a little bit off centered, so some of the circular Brentford B logo is actually blended into this stripe right here, and I just don't think it looks particularly nice. They've got these weird things going on with the collar as well as with the shirt sleeve. Yeah, not for me. Not for me. Also, not for me. Brown. Look, there's some kits or some jerseys, as we say in the NFL, that I think are classic, and I think the Cleveland Browns jersey is classic. but this ain't it. It looks bad on the TV screen. It looks bad on the internet screen. It looks bad on my phone screen. Wherever it goes, it looks bad. And it is, yeah, it is E and our first kit placement of today's video. Definitely won't be the last because I see some on here that just ain't it. But yeah, we'll put that one there, and then we'll put this last one too. Oh, maybe it's Joma that is their kit sponsor. I don't mind the blue. I don't mind the blue. The color combination is a little bit different, right? It's got a little bit of brown and a little bit of like this orangish yellow color. But again, just not very visually appealing. And look, Brentford's a team that I've seen them have some pretty decent second kits or away kits over the years. They've had some black ones that look pretty nice. I think about the days when they were in the championship and they were coming up. They had a really nice black and yellow. But if your nickname is the Bees, you need some black, you need some yellow in there because those are the colors that we associate with Bees. And look, I know it's probably part of their history. I don't know Brentford's history like I do Chelsea, Arsenal, and the bigger clubs, but I don't think that I think that they need to have a kit that has black and yellow in it. I think it would look so much cleaner than the away kit as well as the third kit. So there's that one. Brighton, another one up there that I kind of mentioned this before. Another it might be Joma, and it looks like they used the same design for the Brentford one as they did for Brighton's. So I'm going to put this one again right here up at D. Again, the logo is a little bit worse because it looks like American Express has a has where the Brentford logo is just stripes that are just vertical and horizontal. It looks like they have. It just looks like it looks like a poor craftsmanship job where somebody just stitched on an entire logo instead of having the American Express printed. Again, the Brighton logo is sort of drowned out a little bit and it looks a little bit out of place. Even the Joma logo, not very good. So look, where that one gets a D, I like this purple one. I like the color. I like the placement of it, even though the American Express probably would be a little bit better if it was condensed inside the center vertical stripe. I like that everything is all right here. And I like the gradient purple, right? You got the lighter purple with the darker purple. And I've seen it in action so far this year. And I think it looks really, really clean and really, really unique. And if I was a Brighton fan, that's definitely a collector's item and a memento that I would want to have in my kit collection. Third kit, I don't know what they're doing with this yellow. Look, I'm a fan of stripes. What I don't like is the color selection, right? I don't I don't like the blue Brighton logo over top of the yellow and the black stripes. I do like the little collar accents, but again, it just looks out of place. And if you were to swap, say, put this Brentford logo on here, I think that would be a much cleaner kit. But yeah. So not too bad for Brighton. A B, a D, and then an E. A little bit better than Brentford, and definitely better than Bournemouth as well. Up next, Burnley. Another claret and blue. I don't know what's going on with you folks over there in the UK. You guys act like I don't understand why there's so many claret and blue top sides, and maybe it's just random how all of these top sides ended up or all these clubs ended up in the Premier League. But you've got the '96 logo on there. I think they are a Warrior brand, and I'll be honest with you, it's not the worst. I've seen some worse Brentford kits. I'm gonna put this one right here in the C mark. Not terrible, but not horrible. I like the gradient and the blue, light blue with the 9 and then the white with the 6. I think it's a nice little offset. But if you're taking a look at the sponsor, again, just like Chelsea had that one year with the 3 sponsor, anytime you have a number on your kit and on the front of it, it doesn't look good to me. It just does not look good. So I'm going to put that one there. And then we'll move on to their away kit. I don't mind their away kit. Again, it's almost like the reverse in terms of the colors, which I think is necessary to not get kit clashes and things like that. I like the gradient, sort of like a water beach pool type of vibe with the colors and things like that. I like the collar accent a little bit better than their home kit. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna move this home one down to a D, and I'm going to put this one up here in the C territory because I actually don't think it's too bad. And then this third kit as well, not bad. Gold, um, again with a little bit of like looks like some kind of splatter print over here on the left shoulder and maybe even on the right shoulder just because of the image is a little bit off. I'm going to put this one as a C as well. So far, not Brighton, Burnley graded out pretty well. Two C's and a D. Again, if this was my kid's report card, I'd be very upset. But other than that, not too bad. Next up, and I told everyone in the beginning of this video I'm not going to be biased, and we'll start it with the home kit. And look, this is the third year running where at the start of the season we did not have a kit sponsor. Last year at the end of the season we had the Mac DAMAC, and then before that we had Infinite Athlete who came on with late deals. So my thoughts and opinions on it could definitely change, but I'll be honest with you, the home kit is very blah. It is very blah. I'm gonna actually put this down here at the D. I was gonna put it at the C, but I was going to I'm gonna add another tier. Oops, we'll delete this one. I thought it was very safe. It's better in person than I've seen than on TV or better on the screen, but it's not a great kit. And with Nike, sometimes it's very hit or miss. But where these next two kits I am very fond of, and this third kit or the away kit, I'm putting this one as my first A. I have this kit, and again, not biased, but when I look at this kit in person, when I see it on our folks out there, we've got the green shorts to match it. We've got a lovely gray sort of insignia type of print top that our players wear when they walk out. Very lovely kit. The white isn't like a true white; it's almost like a off white, like a maybe even like a little bit of cream to it. But the vertical stripe down it gives me designer vibes. When I see this kit, the first thing I think of is Gucci, and I'm not even a designer whore, but it is a very nice kit. And just like that one, look, I'm putting this third kit, the Total 90 kit up there as well. Sort of a throwback to some of the older days, but you put the Club World Cup badge right above here, and you got sort of the Nike logo, the old school Chelsea logo, and as well as the Club World kit there. If you get a nice sponsor and it's like a white, say if it's like Qatar Airways or something like that, that is a 10 out of 10 kit. So Chelsea grades out 2 A's and a D, definitely a passing grade. But like I said, I try to keep my bias aside, but I think these are generally just two very nice kits. Everton's home kit, well, not bad. Again, I think it's another either Joma or Warrior. They've got the gambling logo on there, which bothers some people, but I don't give a fuck, to be honest with you. I like horizontal stripes as well. I think it's very safe, very classy. They usually have white shorts to go with it, with white and blue socks. Just an average looking kit, nothing too bad. Their away kit, I think it's pretty nice too. It's sort of like I can't even describe the color because it's almost like a light. It's almost like a beigeish, like light green type of color. But I like the designs on the sleeves. I just think it looks like a very clean kit. Safe, yes, you can say it's safe, but sometimes safety is the best policy. I don't know what their shorts look like for this, as well as their socks. I'll be honest with you, I can't remember any Everton away matches off the top of my head, but not bad. Their third kit though, look, it catches the eye, but it's just so much going on with the squiggly lines and the horizontal lines that it looks like if you put out a contest for what we call elementary school kids to come up with a design and take the logo off of it, of course, it looks like something that my daughter's third grade class somebody in their class would do. Not a fan. Gonna put that down there at E. Again, very, very busy. So look, two C's and an E for them. Not, like I said, not the worst, but not the, some room for improvement. Next up, Nottingham Forest. Look, Forest is always going to be consistent with their home kit. It's always going to be red, and it's usually going to have some white, like pinstripes, um, with white shorts. So it's not the worst kit. I'm going to put this in the C category because I think it's just a very, very safe kit. Like, I would never say it's ugly, never say it's fantastic, but nice logo. I like the Bally's in cursive for the sponsor. Not doing too much with the collar and things like that. Very, very just clean, very tasteful, and look, not a bad kit. The next one I'm gonna for their away kit, I'm gonna put down here in the D category. Actually, I'm gonna put this in the E category, to be honest with you. Not because it's a bad kit per se, but it's just so basic. And sometimes you get this with Adidas and Nike as well, where they have custom kit formats and templates where everyone who has that is the base template is sort of the same. So again, I gave their home kit a C for safety, but I also, acknowledge their history and acknowledge when I think of Nottingham Forest, that's the type of kit that I think of. This away one is just way too just generic for me. Their third kit, not too bad. It's got a little bit of the it's like it's a horizontal sort of pattern, but it's not a uniform pattern. What I don't like on this kit is, and this sounds crazy because it's Nottingham Forest, but the red on there just looks so bold and it just jumps out at you, right? It looks like someone hit Control B on the keyboard and it's like, you know what, we got to make the Adidas logo, we got to make the Forest crest, we got to make the kit sponsor or the kit sponsor stand out, and it looks a little bit forced. So I'm going to put this one down here at the D. So for those folks keeping tabs at home, that's a C, a D, and an E. So far, we've got two A's, Chelsea. We've got two B's, Arsenal, and then as well as Forest, and then the rest sort of shake out below them. But up next, Fulham. Look, Fulham is always going to be their home kit is always just going to be a basic white top with some sort of stripes in there. They've got Adidas. They've got some sort of pattern this year that's a little bit funky, right? You see this right here, and it's sort of like another outline. They've always got black shorts. Fulham's kits, I think over the years, their home kits, because of the white and the black and then the red accents on there, are never too terrible. But it's a kit that I'm not. It doesn't move me this year. Again, this part, I think it's just a lot going on with the stripes as well as this particular nonsense. I'm going to put this down here in the D category and just say, you know what, it is what it is. This third kit, look, Seattle Sounders, for those folks that are fans of the MLS, they're very familiar, even the Seattle Seahawks, with this like neon green color. It's just an ugly kit. It's ugly in when you see it on the screen. It's on, and you're watching on match day. It's ugly when we're doing this review. Yeah, an easy one here. But this third kit, I like it. Black with a little bit of the gold trim, then the gold accent. You still got this little, kind of design here, but I think it looks better with the gold accents as well, or as opposed to the black accents up here. I'm gonna put this one up here. I'm gonna put this one in the B category. Look, black and golds are some of my favorite color combinations, but I really am digging that color combination. Up next, Leeds. Uh, Look, Leeds owned by the Red Bull Group. You can tell, right away what kind of madness that they're on with the logo and things like that. But their white kit, look, it's just like I said about this about the Everton logo or the Everton home kit. It's very safe. No issues with it. I would never call it a great kit, but I would never call it a ugly kit. Um, this away kit, on the other hand, and actually, look, we're just going to throw this third kit right down here in the E category because there is a lot going on with this kit. I mean, I don't even know. Maybe there's some sort of meaning and some sort of deeper understanding with this stuff down here, but the Red Bull logo looks horrible. You can barely even make out the Leeds crest, and then the badge, the Adidas badge is just kind of, or crest is just kind of thrown in there. But yeah, that's an easy E. And I'm gonna put this one in as in the D category as well because it is just not a very blue and gold. Like one of my favorite Chelsea jerseys or kits of all time is the year after we won the first Champions League, 2000, what was that? 2013, 14, when you get the gold accent because we were with Adidas at the time. I think it's a nice combination. But this one is just, it doesn't do it for me. Not a big fan of it. So we'll keep that one here down in the D and keep it moving. So for Leeds, that's a C, a D, and an E. So for a team that's going to be flirting with relegation all year, yeah, not it, not it. Um, Liverpool, look, I'm a Liverpool hater, but we will judge this with no bias. I think this home kit is a solid C. It doesn't jump out at me. It's much better than their Warrior days and things like that. But again, it's sort of the same concept again. And I talked about this before, where Adidas or Nike will use the same sort of kit template and kind of apply it based off of, make the little changes based off of the sponsor and things like that, and of course the club's crest and colors. But very very basic. Like it's not an ugly jersey, but it's not anything that's special. Now this third kit, I'm sorry, their away kit, very nice. I'm gonna put this one up here in the A category. Again, just like this Arsenal kit right here. And look, every time I look at this Arsenal kit, I'm like, man, it deserves to be up here a little bit more. But just the white kit, just very clean, not doing too much. Look, they got rid of the sort of squiggly accents on the side. They've got the one of their old school logos up here. Just very clean, very clean jersey. So I like that one a lot. Um, so if we're looking so far from Liverpool, that's an A and a C. This third kit, I mean, I like it. I like it when kit manufacturers or clubs come to an agreement to have a third kit that's like the colors way out of left field. Um, I like Chelsea had a kit that I've been trying to find, and I'm probably gonna have to buy a fake. I'll be 100% honest, so don't flame me. But I like this like turquoise tealish color. I think it looks very good on the screen, and I think it looks very good, when you're watching an actual game. And it's different. It's different. Like it's not a color that I would ever associate with Liverpool Football Club, but I think it works. And again, I like it when folks think outside the box. So I'm going to put that there in the B category. So that's an A and a B and a C. So I think that's probably, if you average it out, that's probably the best so far. If you had to go on like the grading scale, where an A is a 4, a B is a 3.0, and then a C is a 2. So that, your mathematicians can do the math there. But there's Liverpool Football Club. Man City's up next, and I'll be. This is where my bias might come into play. I absolutely love like sashes or whatever the hell that they're called on kits, right? But Rayo Vallecano in La Liga, one of my favorite kits of all time. Who Ross or not Racing? Who's the big club in Argentina? Not Boca, but the other one. Is it Racing? I can't remember. Oh, it's killing me. But I love this Man City kit. I love the sash. I'm putting this one in the A territory. I think it's one of Man City's better kits. You've got the sky blue, you've got the black Puma, you got the black Etihad. Where I talked about before about, what was it, this Brentford kit right here, where it goes kind of through the logo. This one seems to be nice and sort of centered on the diagonal. So I like that kit a lot. I like that. I really like that Man City kit. If I was a City fan, I'd definitely be purchasing that home kit. Their away kit, solid too. I'm not going to give it an A, even though I think it's somewhat similar to Chelsea, but black, the white lettering, the it doesn't try to do too much. I think it's just a very nice kit. So I'm going to put that one in the B, and then we'll move on to their third one, which I'll be honest with you, right away, down here in this E tier, because what the fuck is this? Like, this is a terrible looking kit. I've seen it in person at the Puma store before. I don't know if I've seen Man City wear it this year, because they might not have had an opportunity where it's a kit clash. Maybe they wore it in one of their like cup games or European games or something like that. But it is absolutely horrible. Like the green is sort of like this ugly Fulham green, if not a little bit brighter. You can't really make out what this is over top of it. Looks like probably one of their older logos, but yeah, just a very very ugly design. So that's Man City. So City's got an A B, and then this E sort of brings them down overall. um, Manchester United, I'm going to put this one here is the C. Again, very basic, classic almost, so to say. Got the Snapdragon kit sponsor. I do like the black accent for the collar, as well as for the sleeves. Although I'll be honest with you, now that I'm thinking about it, it would probably look a little bit better if it was white and you sort of got this sort of this, maybe even this forest collar kind of going on. And I know there are two different collars. The forest collar is a little bit more of like a polo type of collar, but very classic, very safe. Put that up there as the C. Um, their away uniform, I'm gonna put this one as a B. I like it. I like the white, the sharpness of it. I like the cleanness of it. I like the old school Manchester United logo for it. I like the collar with the accents, and it's not like a uniform collar. Like, one of the sides goes down a little bit, extends a little bit longer than the other. I like the sort of the gradient a little bit going on behind there with the design. Very nice. So that one goes into the B category. And even this one right here, I like the collar. I like the color combination. They've got an old school throwback Manchester United logo. I like the shorts that go with this. Not a bad one at all. So for Manchester United, that's a B and two C's, which I'll be honest with you is not too bad. Not too bad. Up next, we've got, who do we got? We've got Newcastle. So Newcastle, look, just like, when you see these stripes right here, you're automatically going to think of Bournemouth and then Brentford in there. But the Newcastle kit is a little bit more classic. It's a little bit more nostalgic. It doesn't change year to year, apart from the sponsor and whoever that is. But yeah, it's not bad. I'm going to put this one here in the C category because, again, it's safe. It's a throwback. It's not too outlandish. It's just a very classic kit. I'm gonna put this away one though. I'm gonna put this one up here in the B category. I like the green. I like the again the vertical stripes, but this one's got a little bit of an arc to it. Um, I don't like the yellow sleeve. When I see that, I always think of like either the captain's armband or something like that. It just throws it off for me. But that's not really, that's more of a patch. But I think it looks good. I like the collar. I like what's going on here with the sleeves. Even the sleeves have instead of the horizontal kind of arch, it's got the vertical stripes. So solid kit. It's a very solid kit for me. Um, Even their third one, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna put their third one up here as a B. Um, I think it's very different. Again, if this sleeve patch right here, and I don't know who their sponsor is, but if this was orange as instead of blue, and everything was a blue and orange, I think that would be a very nice kit, and they would almost infringe on that A territory. But it throws off a little bit of the vibe for me, even though I'm digging the collar, I'm digging the blue and orange combination, and I'm digging just the overall vibes and aesthetics of this one. Up next, Crystal Palace. Oh man, their their home kit, much like Brentford, much like Bournemouth, doesn't change very much. And when I see it, I'm always like, no, I can't. I can't get with it. It's just, it's a little plain. The stripes, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the blue and the red that sort of throw it off for me, but it's just not a kit that I'm look at and I'm just like, that's a good looking kit. Palace had a kit a couple of years ago with a stash with a horizontal slash vertical stash on it or slash. Very nice, very nice. But this one ain't it. So look, put them down in the D category. I do like this away kit a little bit better. I like the just kind of like how Chelsea's kit is, where you've got sort of two contrasting colors in the vertical spaces, and then you've got very looks very clean with the logo on there. Matter of fact, I'm moving this one up to a B. Um, you've got the Macron logo or however the hell you say it for the kit manufacturer there. You've got the Palace logo here, and then you've got the kit sponsor nicely centered going across. It's just a very clean, and it's sort of just the whole thing is just like just very aesthetically like sound, if that's a way to describe it. So they're in the B category. And then this third kit, it's not terrible. I mean, it's yellow, which I don't really associate with Palace, and maybe there's some sort of historical reference or tie back to it. But it is I'm going to put it down here in the D category because it's not a great one. I'd like to see what the shorts look like, matter of fact. But even though we're just kind of just grading tops, but not terrible, but also nothing that I would be like if I was a Palace fan, like, yeah, I got to get this kit. So if you're looking at Palace, to wrap up Palace, that's a B for their away kit, and then 2 Ds for their home and their third kit. So look, we're getting down to the end of it. We've got about what Spurs, we've got Sunderland, we've got who the fuck we got West Ham. No, this is West Ham right here. We've got Wolves and who in the hell is this? No, it's not Burnley because we've done Burnley. I am Aston Villa. I was totally blanking on that because look, there's so many goddamn claret and blues, but and then of course Wolves to sort of set it off at the end. But Spurs home kit, look, it's always going to be white. It's always going to have some sort of a blue in there, and then maybe even some black highlights on there. I like as much as I hate Spurs, I do like the placement of the crest, the Nike badge logo, and then the kit sponsor there. I think that looks very clean. But I'm going to put this one in the C category because it's just it's very basic. It's not anything that's like wows me or anything like that. So we'll put that one in there as a C, and then we'll put this one up here in the B category because look, I like the black. I like the spacing of the logo in terms of the crest and the Nike badge or the Nike logo. Not trying to do too much with the sleeves or the collars. The only thing I don't like about this, and I would probably move it, and this is just the sponsor, AIA. I don't know what AIA is. I'll be fully transparent and honest with you guys, but it looks like a little, I don't know, it just looks a little weird to me. Looks a little weird. So we'll put that one up there in the B category just based off of the simpleness and as nice as black is. And then you've got their throwback one, right? You've got their yellow with the blue accent, right? When I see this one, I think about like the early 2000s and some of the teams that they had. I like yellow and blues. I think it's a very nice combination, whether it's yellow being the predominantly the featured color or blue being the predominantly featured color. So I'm going to put this one up here I'm going to put it in the C category. Again, I definitely move it up into the B category, but the logo, the AIA, just doesn't do it for me. I like the lines and the stripes here. I like this little sort of kind of blue accent going down here at the bottom. I like the collar. I like this how one sleeve is a little bit different than the other sleeve, but that AIA just kills it for me. So we got Spurs, we got a B and then 2C. So a passing grade for Spurs. So don't look. I told you I wasn't going to be biased, but there you go. Up next, we got the Black Cats. And look, when you think of Sunderland, you think of a red kit or a white kit with red stripes on there. Sometimes it's a little bit different, but this year they've went with like a vertical placement for all of their crests and logos and badges and things like that. Look, I got to keep it a buck and I got to keep it consistent. I'm going to put this down here in the D. Look, I know it's historical for them and I know it's part of their tradition, but it's not a very appeasing kit. But you know what, Sunderland, you're sitting fourth in the table. You know, you got to hold this L, but you're winning in real life. And I'll be honest with you, when we get to your next two kits, I like them a lot better. I like this third kit. I mean, I'm sorry, the second away kit. I love that blue. Look, it's Chelsea blue, so it kind of pops. But I like the the design on there. I think it looks a little bit better with because of the W here and like this W and then W88. That whatever company that is, that's too many W. That's too many W's in there in terms of having it on a football badge. I just don't think it looks very aesthetically pleasing when it comes to kit sponsors. But I like the blue. I like how the sleeves are a little bit different. I like the white and a little bit of the red in there because it is Sunderland for the collar on there. So I'm going to put that one as a C. This third one though, yeah, this one's a banger. I'm going to put this one up here in the A category. I like, of course, I like the black kit, but what I like about what I like about it is it's sort of like a gradient gray slash silver uh font color for their sponsor, for their crest, and then for the kit manufacturer on there. um looks looks very clean. I like, and again, I like that gradient color. Chelsea had an Infinite Athlete a few years ago, and it had sort of like a gradient, like a shimmering type of vibe on there. I like that one a lot. So look, big up the Black Cats, doing exceptional this year. The masters of the long ball throw, the masters of physicality. But an a C, and then a D. Not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad. Aston Villa, look, claret and blue. I talked about them before. It ain't going to be the last claret and blue we're going to talk about on this video for today. But I don't mind this kid at all. I don't mind this kid, and even though claret and blue, as an American slash Jamaican, is not a like color combination that we ever see over here. I like the Batano logo on there. I like the claret sleeves, or the blue sleeves as um, instead of the claret. I like the fact that the blue is for the Adidas logo. I like the badge. I like the stripes on there. I think it's a very solid kit. I'm gonna put this one up here in the C because most of their home kits are in the same vein and things like that. So I'm gonna put that one up there. I'm gonna put this away kit, which I think is very sexy. I'm gonna put this one up here in the B category. I like the black. I like the gray. Again, they went very consistent with the colors and the color combinations for the fonts that match sort of the highlights on there with the white accents. Very nice kit. And I'll be honest with you, I like this third kit as well. I like the sort of the light blue pigment accents on there. I like how clean um the old school Adidas logos look. Look, if you in my mind, if you say to me Adidas logo, this is the Adidas logo that I think of. This the new one with the three stripes, and I know Adidas is about the three stripes. I like the old school Adidas logo in there. So matter of fact, I'm moving this one up here into the A category because I think it's just a very nice kit. It's like a purple. It's like a purple color for the font and for the logo color and all that stuff. Very nice. So Aston Villa, well done this year. You got an a B, and a C. Again, you're up there with, is it Liverpool? Liverpool's got an A, they've got a B, and then yeah, they've got a C in there. So one of the highest graded so far, if you're keeping track up there. Um, West Ham, West Ham. Look, three kits. Home kit. Look, I'm gonna keep it a buck. It is not as nice to me as the Aston Villa claret and blue. I like the Aston Villa. I like the Batano sponsor a little bit better than Boyle Sports. I would like to see. I like the sleeves, how they're blue. But it's not a terrible kit. When you see that kit, I think of West Ham. But I'm going to put that down in the D because I'll be honest with you. I think some of these other kits are a little bit better. I think this away kit I'm going to put up here in the C. The white is nice. It's clean. I like the logo. I like how everything is nicely spaced out. I think the white West Ham Hammers logo looks a little bit better. But I'm gonna put that one there as a C, and I'm gonna put this one up here in the B because I love the old school Hammers logo. Like West Ham, when I think of West Ham, I think of that particular logo. I like the navy blue with the gold accents in terms of the collar and then the sleeves. Very, very nice kit, West Ham. So you might not be doing very well in the league, although you've won 2 in a row at the time of this video. Very, very nice, very nice. Last, maybe least, we're gonna go with Wolves. Again, when you think of Wolves, you think of the yellow, you think of the black, which in theory should be a color combination that should produce very, very nice kits. I'm gonna put this one up here in the C category. It's not terrible. It's not great. It doesn't jump out at me. Debet, whatever the hell company that is, isn't a terrible logo to have on there. So I'm going to put that one up there because I just think it's a very, very average kit. Um, Same with this away kit. Again, I like this color. I like that color combination. Again, very, very similar, except for the collar. When you look at the home collar and the away collar, this one I like it a little bit more because it's just a little bit. I like that collar that sort of comes around here that looks like it's a folded down polo shirt that you don't have your top button. This little triangle right here is a little weird, but I don't mind this at all. I will say that when you buy kits and they've got this type of collar, it could be very, very tight up here. But you're not, most times you buy kits, you're not playing actual football on them. But I'm gonna put that up there in the C. And then even this last kit, like I like, it's different. I like the sort of the imprint that it has. It looks like it's got texture. As crazy as that sounds, it looks like you could touch it and it would like it give you like a little different kind of run on there. But yeah, I'm gonna put that in the C. So look, a solid C, even though their season is an E so far, right? They're sitting on 2 points, by far the worst team in the league so far. 3 average kits up there. So look, again, we'll just go over this real quick, just to kind of wrap everything up. For the A's, we've got 2 Chelseas, we've got a Liverpool, a Man City, a Sunderland, and then a Aston Villa. The B's, we got the 2 Arsenals, we got the Brighton, we got the Fulham third kit, we've got the Liverpool third kit, we've got City's away kit, Man United's away kit, Newcastle's, I think this is Newcastle's. Yeah, this is Newcastle's away. This is Newcastle's third. We got Palace's away kit. We've got Spurs' away. We've got Villa's away, and then we've got West Ham's third. So look, very, 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 I think aesthetically pleasing. And I'm looking back at this now to see if I've made any mistakes in terms of my judgment. And let me know in the comments if you think I have. But I don't, off the first time looking at this, I don't think I have, in my personal opinion. But there we hope for the B's. C's and D's, we won't go over all of them because they're a lot, but these E's, absolutely atrocious. We got the Poop Brown Forest kit third, or is this Forest? No, this is Brentford kit. We've got the Brighton one that doesn't look very nice with the yellow, and then you got the blue one on there. We got Everton, with just so much going on. We got this plain Jane Nottingham Forest one on there. That just no designs. This looks like they just took a white shirt and just ironed on some logos. We got this ugly, ugly sort of neon green Fulham kit. We got this atrocious, just way too much going on Leeds kit, and then whatever the hell this third City kit is. So look, that's the breakdown of the kits so far. Maybe we'll go and do, maybe we'll put together a La Liga one and then maybe a Serie A one as well. But let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know if any of these are you're feeling any of these. Let me know if you purchased any of these, because look, sometimes you get a kit and they look a little bit better in person. But yeah, let me know. I'll keep this up on the screen so folks can kind of see the last bit of it. But yeah, let me know in the comments, but make sure you hit that like, make sure you hit that subscribe, and we will see you at the next one. Peace.